Hey, what's up, Peter? This is a quick demo video for you for your SP Sabers and Solo Sabers Raxus, the second one in your collection. Technically the third, but you're selling the third one, right? So the second fully installed one in your collection. We're going to go over my desk, take a look at this guy, and I will get it out in the mail to Austin tomorrow. Thanks, man. All right, Peter. Let's go over your Raxus Starkiller. Thank you very much for picking these up. This is the second one that I've done for you with the Goth Master Chassis. You had this weathered by Austin over at Astoria Workshop. It is a 2-button setup. I made your switches as low profile as I possibly could, but still easy to press. If I would have went one more size lower, which I tried to do, it was very hard to press unless you have fingernails. Some people don't. Some do. As you can see, I do not. So like, it was hard for me. So up just a hair there, power up top, auxiliary in the back. You've got a real quartz crystal inside the crystal chamber here. The KR Sabers lit PCB. All right. Your window right here. We're going to take this off and just leave it off here for the remainder of the demo. All right, because your kill switch is right here. We can go ahead and flip this on right now. So just by flipping this over, I took the boot sounds off of the Saber like I typically do for your build. So you don't have any soundtracks, you don't have any boot fonts or boot sounds rather. This is, however, the Secret Apprentice Starkiller sound font from my good friend Jesse over at Kyberphonic. All right, so you've got a heartbeat for your main crystal here. That 20 pixel accent ring is doing a bit of a kit scanner. I made that in blue, so it had its own thing going on, and I like the broken circuitry type of look. All right, you've got a pulsing on and off here for your crystal until we turn the Saber on. That's when you'll see your rotating plasma gate that you've got in silver. The blue just does a fast track forward, so it goes all the way around that ring. Your two crystals match the blade. So you have a red unstable blade here. Auxiliary. And of course you could have this on, right? And per instructed, sliding it up to reveal the window to preserve the weathering, all right? And then you've got twist off right there. So let's go ahead and flip this off for a second. Very easy to do. We'll come over here. We'll unscrew this. Now this gets very tight at the very end, and I'm going to explain just quickly what I had to do there. As you know, so I won't go into too much detail, there was a bit of an alignment issue with the handle. It's very important that this handle goes on a certain way for a few reasons. One being that a Starkiller, the 4 bars on the handle really need to align with the crystal chamber and the control box, right? If they don't, then you can see that immediately it doesn't look good. And then based on that alignment is how the master chassis was made. So when the handle is aligned, this window aligns with the master chassis window that gives you access to your crystal chamber and your kill switch. So in order to fix that problem, what I did was, there's a rubber gasket in here now. If I were to, I don't want to pull it off, but underneath that, what I did was I took everything off the core here before I installed it. I chucked the core up to my lathe. I milled out, or not milled out, but I machined out a slot. I took a little bit off of this lip. So I went that way, took a little bit off the lip. I machined down a slot that I could then insert that gasket into so it doesn't go anywhere. And that helps us align the handle. All right, so you've got a chassis retention screw here and another one here. All right. Coming over here, you've got this piece that you're familiar with. So it's up here with magnets. It slides on these 2 rails or these 2 rods. There's another 2 magnets down here that will hold it down if you like, or you could slide it up, either way. All right. We went with the resin crystal that came with the kit for the chassis crystal. And of course, you've got the crystal base and the rotating plasma piece that is in silver, I believe. All right. You did ask for some aluminum tubes, so you've got 3 aluminum tubes here, just slightly weathered. I liked the contrast between the medium weathering on the brass and the kind of almost shiny piece to the silver, so I wanted to try to meet that in between with the 3 tubes here. All right, this piece comes off. It's held on with 2 magnets up top, and 2 magnets on the bottom. You can see those like where they align right here and align right here. This is a battery. This is my test battery here. You've got that 28mm KR Saber speaker. You like the black speaker. It is a bit lower profile also than a Smuggler's Outpost speaker. All right, so that's in here. Access to your SD card and your micro USB. I do have a 4-pixel accent strip on top of the board, and then I slid in a piece of diffusion right underneath this piece that doesn't come off, so that when we turn this guy on, you'll see it. So what this is it's wired in to the 20-pixel strip, but because the ring rather, but because the 20-pixel strip is a ring, and this is basically a strip, the two of them give off very different animations. All right, so that's what I did there. We're going to go ahead and turn that off. That's also how you take your battery out. This is a tight fit, so what you want to do is come over here and you push it from right here. All right, push it. Grab the battery right here, pop it out. Try not to drop it like I just did, but that's how you take the battery out. And that's your battery compartment. The leaf spring over here is the negative side of your battery. So we're gonna come over here, clip that in. When you clip that in, you can come over here and slide this on so the part with the grooves will slide on top, kind of matching these grooves over here. We'll just slide it in and it clips in just like that. It doesn't go anywhere. All right, and from there you can just screw this back on. And let's talk about that gasket. So when you get to about right here, it starts getting a little tough. That is on purpose because I wanted it to be, you just keep slowly working your way until you get this perfectly aligned, which is going to be about right there. You want this bar perfectly aligned with the crystal chamber up here, perfectly aligned with this switch and so forth. That is the correct orientation. And when you do that, you can see you've got perfect access to your kill switch and everything. All right, so we'll turn that back off and we'll just break it back down. I tried to, I cut a groove as deep as I could in here and try to get up underneath this lip for this to fit in, so it would be as less, at least the least amount visible as possible when you have the handle on. All right, so I'm going to take this battery out because this is my test battery. I just wanted to show you how to get it out of there. So we'll put that here, come over here and slide this on, put our handle on, line up that door, that bar right there with the crystal chamber. Barely visible at all unless you knew what you were looking for, okay? You've got your window right there. I'm gonna go ahead and pop the door back on, put it in place where it needs to go. And that, sir, is basically how you work your Raxus. Please let me know if you have any questions. I will get this sent over to Austin per your request so that he can finish weathering some greeblies and such for you. All right, thanks, man.